Comparing data between legal entities can be a powerful feature, especially when you're creating new legal entities which are copies of a template legal entity. The framework makes it easy to compare data and determine which records are identical only in the source or only in the target legal entities. Let's go ahead and take a look at how this works within AX. We're going to get back into the Data Import-Export Framework module. And under Common, you now have the option to compare entity data between companies. Let's click on Next on the welcome screen. Here, we're going to compare customer data between the USMF and the USSI legal entities. So let's call this Compare Customers and click on Next. In the list of entities, let's select the customer entity and add it to the list of entities to compare. Then click on Next in the wizard. In the list of available source companies, let's select USSI as the source. And in the list of target companies, let's select USMF as the target. Then click on Next. We're going to do the comparison synchronously without using the batch processing. And so I'm going to just click Next on this screen. And on the final screen, just click Finish to begin the comparison process. After the comparison is complete, you will find that the info log says there are 75 records from the USSI that have been copied to staging and 30 records from the USMF company that have been copied to staging. In the comparison processing group dialog that's open now, just hit F5 to see the latest processing group that was created. Now you can click on the double arrow, and because this is a comparison processing group, you have the option to hit Comparison Results to see details. In the comparison results, you get a summary of the comparison results where it tells you the name of the entity and the company in the target, how many records are only in the source, how many records are only in the target, how many are identical, and how many are different. In this case, there were 75 records that were only in the source, which is the USSI company, 30 records which were only in the target, which is the USMF company. There were no records that were in both companies, and so the identical and different is 0. You can select the target and hit Details, and you can now see all of the records that were only in the source, target, identical, or different. Here you can see that the following entities were only in the source. If I hit the Only in Target tab, it shows me the records that were only in the target, which is the USMF company. There were no records that were in both, in either identical or different states. Just like with some of the other dialogues, you can select one of these entities and hit the Target button to navigate to the actual customer form for that particular record. One of the other things that you can also do is if there are records in source that you want to move to target, you can select the records that you want to move and hit the update. And this, when I press OK, is going to write data from the source system into the target system. We're not going to do that now, and so I'm going to cancel out of this dialog. As you saw, the Compare Entity Data feature of the Data Import-Export framework complements the Copy Data feature and allows you to easily compare data between two legal entities. In the next lesson, we'll talk about the different entity types that you can use within the data import-export framework.